I don't remember going to bed here last night. Did I sleepwalk? Oh my, that would be horrifying if I'm sleepwalking all the way down to my old home in the middle of the night with the possibilities of... Maybe I just was very rested. I don't remember going to bed here. Huh. Please don't be a drift dream again. Get David, I should not have looked at chat. You completely blew my immersion out of the water with that comment. I should not have fucking looked at chat. I gotta focus. Did I miss Naked David? No! Alright, back in character. Oh my god. No, as much as I love that song, I feel like it just doesn't fit. This song just gets me, man. This song gets me in the emotions. Middle of the night, eh? I better check up on Hope. If I am sleepwalking in the middle of the night, I don't want to be waking up in the middle of the night and scaring her. Or I'm dreaming and I'm about to get terrified and I'm not. Whatever. Get it over with. Hello.
Oh, hello, David. You still up? Is everything okay?
I hope so. Been having a lot of bad dreams lately.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Tea?
Yeah, sure.
Good.
What are you writing?
Oh, I'm not writing anything. I've been reading.
Oh.
Some of the stories that some of our friends have talked about, I have written down. And I like to read them over and over again. Some parts are very humorous, you know?
Really? Oh, what stories? I mean, anything in particular?
Right now, I am reading some of the things that Miss Q has told me about.
Oh,
Mainly the part where she was turned into a cat.
funny stories from that rescue.
Most certainly. So, what kind of dreams are you having, David?
Well, I mean, lately the dreams haven't really been around these days. But it's just been a lot of nightmares, honestly. I've been sleeping good. I hope. These past several days.
I see. That is good to hear. I can understand why I would have bad dreams from time to time. A lot of things are at stake. And there's a lot of pressure on you. But that's why we're having these little moments, you know? I didn't have bad dreams in a while. I didn't have any dreams in a while, but you could imagine I have a blooming imagination.
Yeah, me too.
Recently, I'm just happy. That is all.
Why is that?
Well, isn't that obvious? I'm surrounded by all of you, and I have hope. Just everything I need.
Yeah. Lucky girl she is.
She's a wonderful child.
Yeah.
She will pick up a lot from you, you know.
You think so?
I do. I do think so.
Like what?
Hope's curious nature definitely fits within your... well... your adventurous side.
Adventurous side. Huh. I suppose.
The reason why I'm saying it is because I don't leave a lot, David.
Hmm.
Hope wants to see the world.
She does.
I remember when you went to Orlando Saka with her, there was nothing else she wanted to talk about anymore. All the different things she saw and the little stores and everything.
The sewer.
Oh yeah, that part too. Bath time was immaculate.
I recently offered to bring her to Severa.
Saphira?
I know it's probably not the best idea. That's why I'm bringing it up to you, I guess. But, she doesn't get out much at all. And I figured, even if it wouldn't be the most constructive of outings, it could be a learning one.
I've been visiting Saphira quite a bit. Oh, I remember I've been to Kyga's warehouse, I think twice, I believe. I've also been to the Purple Lotus Casino once. There are some very nice places, even though they are rather ruled by poverty. Doesn't make them any less beautiful.
It is true. Just more concerned with the people she'll be interacting with. But it's better that she has some kind of exposure to that than hoveling here with little to no social interaction besides the people that come and go. This could end up worse for her growth.
You're right. Children need that exposure. Throughout our week, Heaven's Reach is rather quiet.
Yes, until everyone's running around. Perhaps I'll talk to Master Kyga, see if we could come around the warehouse of his.
That sounds good. The people there are lovely from what I saw.
Don't think I've ever been, so that will be a first time. I'm going to stand out like a sore thumb, though. We both are.
That didn't stop me.
Psh. I suppose. Yeah, you definitely would have stood out. Tall as hell.
I am rather tall, am I not?
Zarkon's been a lot more active these days. Keeping me company.
Huh?
Conversation. He's a good partner.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
He's starting to lay off that shell.
Yeah, he is. He's a lot more personable these days. Not as rough. He's trying to make jokes. He's showing an ire of nervousness. At some
Truly?
of my questions, yes.
Things are definitely getting warmer.
Oh,
Well, if you think about where we've been and where we are now. You know, how things are today is how I always imagined it when I arrived here. It was hard at first, but we got there one day. Made me very happy. There were times where I felt like I need to give up, but that was out of question.
sometimes I feel like I'm pushing myself too hard. But then other times I feel like I have to. It's making
That is
Hope
exactly
a little
what
bit
I felt
nervous.
too. We are... Deep down, we're all just... human. It's normal for us to... believe that we can't handle something. Or that we're going too far. But then we think about the general end goal. The vision that we had. And we can almost grasp it. It's worth to go the extra mile, don't you think?
Yes, but sometimes I feel like my physical health is at risk.
That is why it is also important to take breaks. Take a day off. Take Hope. Go somewhere nice. Don't think about anything.
All right.
Oh well. Could you hand me the tea?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
beautiful night again.
It is every night.
Always worth mentioning it.
Nomad and I got into a fight recently.
Oh? Was it regarding the meeting we had?
Something like that. It's, I apologized about that meeting to him a while back. He still harbors a lot of, ill feelings towards you, I guess. I've come to learn something. I don't think I can't change Nomad. And he's going to do what he feels he needs to do. I think the best thing that I can do for him is just be there when he needs me. Not as a master or leader or anything, just as a friend. So, I guess no matter what stupid decision he decides to make, I'll have my grievances, but I think it's best if I am just there for him and allow him to learn from his own mistakes.
I agree. Nomad doesn't have a lot of people that he looks to and sees them as someone relatable. But with you he does. And I can understand, don't worry, I'm not upset that Nomad is always so harsh with me. I mean, really, who am I? I arrived here one day and told him what to do. And he's blaming me for Scarlet Kane's existence. In a way, it's true, but if that's what he needs to hold on to, if he needs to lash out with his anger towards me for that, then so be it. I can take it. Right now, he doesn't really have a punching bag, does he? at the end of the day, I'm glad that you are looking out for each other. Like brothers.
Yeah, I guess so. Do you, do you remember that day when you were in the core after we defended it and had a conversation with you? Saying that I wanted to dedicate myself towards Ed Hudo.
Of course I do.
You know, you've been a great inspiration, Miss Risa.
Oh? I appreciate that, my friend.
I have learned so much because of all of this, and I have strived to learn more because of all this.
And you will.
For a really long time, I have fought to find something worth fighting for. And it always ended up leading down something negative. And for a long time, I just assumed that that was just going to be my life. Because, well, I've told you this before, but the fight never ends when you're a warrior. It's just moving on to the next one. You just keep going until you either die in battle or you're too old to fight anymore. But with the tower and everything that I'm seeing, I finally found a fight worth fighting for, where I have no gray areas. I have no concerns of right or wrong. Some of the people that I have trained in that arena, I've fought with before. I've fought with countless times. And I've never seen them more unified than from this. We used to have a name for it. In combat situations, we would call it hamstering. Effectively, where your allies are just all over the place and you can't keep track of any of them. And that's what I'm used to. Or everyone's a leader and therefore no one is. I've seen immaculate progress with how they fight. It's honoring that I am able to be a teacher to them. That I am that I am able to be a leader, someone that they can look up to.
I knew from the very start, David, that no one would be better than you to be my right hand.
I thank you for that opportunity.
And I thank you for taking it. You've helped out a great deal. Looking at you always reminds me that honesty and truthfulness will always prevail. You're a scarred man. Of course you would doubt things that come towards your way. But I've given you everything. And look at you now. Could be more proud. One day when all of this is over, we'll have a big celebration. Invite everyone you know. It doesn't matter. The more the merrier.
I will make sure that happens. For you.
For us, David.
Of course.
You know, even though that I'm a little bit concerned how sleep deprived you are sometimes, I do love when you visit me here and we talk in the middle of the night.
I have missed our talks. Feels like a very long time since we've had one.
Really? I mean, I've been here just yesterday.
Maybe it's the sleep deprivation getting to me.
Perhaps. Would you like to go for a walk?
Sure, where would you like to go?
Take in the scenery. We haven't been to the beach, have we?
Alright. You lead.
All right. I always love the sounds of the waterfall. Makes everything feel more alive. I wonder if you shared the same vision back in the day when you chose to take that house.
Well, to be honest, the reason I chose that house was because it was secluded.
I see.
But, and I suppose that's also why Nomad decided to bunk with me. We could be secluded together. But, you know, not alone, sort of a thing. You know,
Yes.
who is that? Is that a god
The
of
man
your
on top?
realm? Yes.
I do believe he was a famous monk of my world.
You do believe.
I do believe.
Jolly good.
Yes.
A lot of people ask me that, what some things mean around here, like that. And I tell them, you know, not everything really has an in-depth meaning. It's just an artist's touch, I suppose. Something they decided to make based off of inspiration. Someone asked me recently, and I said, well, it's probably a god. You know, I've never asked. That answer solidifies some things, I guess you could say.
Things are as we perceive them.
Hmm.
It's only neutral to try to find a meaning in things that we don't understand.
Yeah.
But you're right. Some things are only there just to be there. And if you think deeper about it, someone trying to figure out the deeper meaning of something could inspire them in a way. That's why I believe this statue was a famous monk.
Do I classify as a monk these days?
That is a good question. You have dedicated yourself to a cause. You rarely leave your temple. You have strict training plans. And you're very disciplined. I do believe you count as a monk, David, yes?
Jolly good.
Do you like to be one?
So why not?
Then you are a monk.
Whenever I was living in Zafira, in my apartment, I would stay up late watching a lot of shows about various different characters rising above and beyond their own limits. A lot of anime. I like to say I was a bit of a weeb. It's kind of an insultive term, but whatever. I would wear it.
I see.
But it's funny thinking about I wanted in a roundabout way I got to where I wanted to be.
I know we talked in the gazebo on the tree a while ago. And I feel very, very similar. You know, I was thinking about how I wanted to see what the afterlife would be like for me, but sometimes I feel like I've already arrived where I needed to be.
There's still so much to do for you, Miss Riza. We still have to climb the tower. We still have to make the wish.
Of course. But I enjoy every second of it. I do. Thousands of years in the tower, and the moments here in Heaven's Reach will always be on the very top of my memories. Also, who's to say that the afterlife is eternal? Perhaps this was even better for me.
Well, I don't know anything about that. I'm the guy who says that gods don't even exist, so... I don't really know how anything works. And whatever semblance of idea I have of how it works changes every day. So, at that point, I just kind of go with the flow. It'll give me a headache if I try to piece it all together.
Always live the moment. Our world and the great cosmos grow with each day. Saying something doesn't exist is an easy way of comforting yourself. But there are infinite possibilities in this beautiful world. We should welcome them.
Indeed. She's growing up fast, Miss Hope is.
That she is.
I don't look forward to the day that she's taller than I am.
Even though one day she might become taller than you, she will always look up to you, David.
I mean, sure, metaphorically speaking, but physically, no.
I understand. Change of scenery?
Alright.
Something that I always adored was the overview at the arena. I'll show you what I mean. If you stand right here, and you look out this way, how the light blends in everything so well together. I've always loved that view. It's like a painting.
It is.
Perhaps we can sit there. Well, count that as a first. This is perfect.
I'm approaching my 50s now.
You're still quite young.
Sure, compared to you. Good God.
Well, even in human terms, I would believe that 50 is still... You're in good shape.
Oh, I would say I'm in great shape for my age. But it does feel like time is flying by these days, you know. It is a lot I'm missing out on. Don't get me wrong. If I had the opportunity to go back on my word, I wouldn't. Not ever. Didn't even cross my mind. But I don't know, Riza. I'm probably going to be an old man by the time this is all over. But I suppose that'll be all right.
I would say so too. Then you get to to sit at a tea table all day, just like me, and read funny stories.
It's funny, I don't think you can relate to this, I'll have to do a little bit of explaining, but Persephone came to visit me recently, and I mentioned how I'm getting old. And she said, one day when you're too old to fight, perhaps you'll have to come to my dojo and teach the young kids a thing or two. Maybe you could teach them like Mr. Miyagi. And I laughed. Mr. Miyagi being a character from a fictional movie about a kid wanting to learn karate. And his training methods were incredibly unorthodox. He taught the child how to fight using basic techniques at first, and then he moved on to advanced training. But the basic techniques at first revolved around simple things like painting a house, washing a car, mowing a lawn.
Oh?
And through that, he was able to gather mental memories and based off of his actions. The reason I laughed at her comment was because I literally started doing that recently. Miss Cassie wants to learn how to fight better. So, I had her trim the hedges and wash the dojo.
I see.
Zephyrians don't really get much manual labor of that nature. Being a concrete jungle and all that, right? There is muscle memory to be learnt in those activities, and I'm very excited, actually, for the day that she decides to fight back at me for feeling like she's doing nothing, and then I get to react the same way that Mr. Miyagi did in the movie by attempting to throw a punch that she blocks based off of what she has learned passively.
I see.
I am a nerd, Miss Riza.
Is that like weeb?
Yep, a little bit like that.
Well, to me it doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't. It's just a part of who I've always been.
I believe that part makes a great spark of personality in your case.
I suppose. Keeps me less dry.
I've been trying more and more to relate and understand the humor that had been imported into Heaven's Reach.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Still quite hard to grasp, but I'm at least trying.
Orion has started making really out-of-the-box jokes during aftermath and sometimes in the middle of combat scenarios. I have only slapped his wrist once.
They're all so unique.
Yeah.
And they all have their own reasons to be here. To do what they do. But regardless of that, we all have the same goal in mind.
It's true.
And that's how the world should always work. I hope that even after the time of the tower, this place will still bloom as much as it does now. And generations of the generations get to see the history. Learn from it, grow from it. Perhaps even your children.
I can't have kids. Not naturally, at least.
Never say never, David.
I've been proven wrong countless times. I suppose you're right. You've painted quite a beautiful painting here in Heaven's Reach, Miss Riza.
Thank you, David. Something that I always wanted to do.
You've succeeded.
But I'm not done yet. I will paint way more than that.
Can I tell you something that's going to seem quite dramatic?
Of course.
A lesson I learned very recently. If you ever wanted to just go and paint pictures, maybe as a form of rest, because by golly, we all know you deserve it. That would be okay. And I would still be here, teaching everyone and getting closer to that objective. It's okay if you want to rest.
Thank you for telling me this, David.
Of course. I made you a promise. You and Corvus and Hope. And I intend to fulfill it.
And once you do, we'll never forget you.
I would say the same.
dear, you're about to make me cry. I don't know where this is going, but
Perhaps it's time we got some rest, eh?
I do believe so. There is still much to do, David.
Yeah.
Think you'll have a little bit of a better chance to sleep now?
Yes, I will, actually. I think I will sleep very well.
Very good. Good night, David.
Good night, Teresa.